Your cat has been watching you since the first morning you were home together. You assumed he was adjusting, that he was mapping the space, finding the food, deciding whether the furniture was acceptable. You were right about all of that. But there was something else happening in those first weeks that you never knew to look for. Something that animal behaviorists have now documented so thoroughly that it has changed the way researchers understand the domestic cat entirely. Your cat was not just learning your house. He was learning you. Your voice. Your schedule. The specific way you move when you're tired versus when you're about to leave. The exact sound your footsteps make on different floors. And what he built quietly without asking your permission is something that researchers from the University of Lincoln describe using a word that surprises almost everyone when they first hear it applied to a cat. Attachment. Not preference. Not tolerance. Not the vague fondness that people assume cats feel for the humans who feed them. Attachment. The same neurological structure that governs how a child bonds to a parent. There are 7 signs that your cat has built exactly that kind of bond with you. I want you to know all 7. Stay until the last one because it is the behavior that most cat owners have seen without understanding what they were actually looking at. And once you understand it, you will not see your cat the same way again. Let's start at the beginning. The first sign is the one that happens when you leave the room. Not when you leave the house. When you simply walk from one room to the next. Your cat gets up and follows you. You've probably noticed this. You've probably assumed it was about proximity to food, or warmth, or the kind of low-level social behavior you'd expect from any animal that lives with you. Researchers studying feline attachment behavior have a different interpretation. In a 2019 study published in Current Biology, Dr. Kristen Vitale and her team at Oregon State University placed cats in an unfamiliar room with their owners, then briefly separated them, then reunited them. The protocol was adapted directly from the Strange Situation Test, the gold standard assessment used to measure attachment in human infants. The results were striking. 74% of cats showed secure attachment behavior with their owners. The specific behavioral markers were the same as those seen in securely attached children, using the owner as a safe base, exploring more freely when the owner was present, and returning to the owner after separation before resuming exploration. The cat that follows you from room to room is not doing something small. He is doing exactly what a securely attached child does when a parent moves away. He is keeping the safe base in range. He is not being needy. He is being attached. There is a significant difference. The second sign is harder to see. It happens in your cat's face when you walk through the front door. Not the meowing, not the figure 8 around your ankles. Those are easy to notice. What researchers pay attention to is something more subtle. The slow blink. A 2020 study conducted at the University of Sussex and the University of Portsmouth, led by Dr. Karen McComb, documented something that cat owners had observed for decades without having a name for it. When a cat slow blinks at a human, narrowing the eyes and holding them shut for a fraction longer than a normal blink, it is displaying the feline equivalent of a relaxed, trusting smile. The researchers went further. They tested whether the slow blink was bidirectional. Whether humans slow blinking at cats would elicit the same response. It does. Cats are significantly more likely to slow blink back at a human who has slow blinked at them than at a human who approached with a neutral expression. More than that, they are more likely to approach an unfamiliar human who has slow blinked at them. The slow blink is not a random facial movement. It is a deliberate social signal. And when your cat slow blinks at you the moment you come through the door, what the research is telling you is that he has decided you are safe, that he is comfortable enough to close his eyes near you, that the part of his brain that monitors for threat has downgraded you from potential danger to confirmed sanctuary. Your cat is telling you something specific when he does this. Most people never realize what it is. The third sign involves something your cat does in the small hours of the night that you are almost certainly sleeping through. Cats in households with secure human attachment have been documented, through accelerometer data and behavioral monitoring, spending significantly more time in proximity to their owners during sleep than cats who show anxious or avoidant attachment patterns. The specific behavior is this: your cat positions himself near you, not necessarily touching you, but within a radius of roughly 18 inches. He does this consistently, across nights, regardless of temperature, regardless of where in the house he has access to. Ethologists studying territorial behavior in domestic cats note that this positioning is the feline equivalent of what social animals do when they sleep in groups. They sleep near the individuals they trust most, the ones they have categorized as members of their core social unit. The ones in the wild, they would call family. Your cat is not sleeping near you because your body is warm. There are a dozen warmer places in your house. He is sleeping near you because somewhere in the architecture of his social cognition, you are home. And the evolutionary function of sleeping near your most trusted individual is the same in cats as it is in humans. It is the closest thing to safety that an animal can feel. The fourth sign is one that most people interpret as aggression or overstimulation. Your cat is being petted. He seems to be enjoying it. You continue. And then, without obvious warning, he bites you. Not hard, usually. A quick, light bite on the hand. And then he may immediately resume purring, or start grooming your arm. You probably assumed you had annoyed him. You may have assumed you had crossed some threshold of sensation. The behavior is called a love bite, and it has been studied in the context of maternal behavior in cats. Mother cats bite their kittens. Lightly, precisely, as a form of social grooming, as a communication of comfort, as a physical punctuation to an interaction. It is not aggression. It is the feline vocabulary of affection in its most physical form. Cats who exhibit this behavior with their owners are displaying a transferred maternal behavior. The same action, directed at a different recipient. When your cat bites you lightly in the middle of being petted, he is not telling you to stop. He is telling you, in the vocabulary he was born with, that you are close enough to touch in this particular way. That the interaction is good enough to punctuate. He is treating you the way his mother treated him. And the reason that matters is that mothers, in feline ethology, are the only category of relationship in which that behavior exists. The fifth sign is the one that happens at the exact moment when you are most distressed. You are crying, or you are sick, or you have had the kind of day that has nothing to do with your cat and everything to do with the weight of being human. And he appears. Not immediately. Not dramatically. He simply arrives and positions himself near you, or on you, with a specificity and a timing that does not feel random. Research on feline emotional attunement has confirmed what cat owners have reported for decades. Cats are capable of reading human emotional states through a combination of olfactory cues, postural cues, and vocal frequency analysis. A 2015 study published in Animal Cognition, led by Dr. Mariah Galvin and Dr. Jennifer Vonk, found that cats behave differently when their owners display positive emotional states versus negative ones. They are more likely to approach, more likely to make contact, and more likely to exhibit affiliative behaviors, rubbing, slow blinking, purring, when their owners are in distress. This is not a coincidence. It is not the cat seeking warmth. Cortisol, the primary human stress hormone, is detectable in sweat and skin odor. Your cat can smell your nervous system. He knows something is wrong before you have said a single word. And what he does with that information, approaching you, sitting close, making the low rhythmic sound that researchers have measured as having a vibrational frequency with demonstrated calming effects on human tissue, is not instinct. It is care. It is directed, responsive, individual care. The cat that comes to you when you are crying is not confused. He is choosing you specifically because you need it. The sixth sign is the one that takes the longest to see because it lives in a negative space. It is what your cat does not do when you are in the room. A cat with anxious attachment to a human will be hypervigilant, reactive, easily startled. A cat with avoidant attachment will be distant, independent to the point of invisibility. But a cat with secure parental attachment shows something specific. He relaxes. His body language changes. The tail drops from rigid to loose. The pupils are not dilated. He grooms himself, which is a behavior cats only perform when they feel genuinely safe. He stretches fully, exposing his underside, a posture of complete vulnerability that no cat will show in an environment or near a being he considers a threat. Dr. John Bradshaw, anthrozoologist at the University of Bristol and author of Cat Sense, describes the fully stretched, belly-up cat as displaying what he calls the lowest possible threat assessment of its environment. A cat who stretches out, rolls onto his back, and closes his eyes in your presence has assigned you the highest possible safety rating in his internal model of the world. He is not performing comfort. He cannot. The neurological states that govern feline body language cannot be faked the way human expression sometimes can. What you are seeing, when your cat lies fully open near you, is his nervous system telling the truth. And the truth it is telling is that he has decided you are the safest thing in his world. The seventh sign is the last one. The one I told you to wait for. It is the most common of all seven. It happens in millions of households every night. And almost no one who witnesses it knows what they are actually seeing. Your cat is sitting near you, or on you, and he begins to knead. His paws press in and out, slowly, rhythmically, against your lap or your arm or the blanket just beside you. He may be purring. His eyes may be half closed. He looks, by every external measure, like a cat in a state of complete contentment. Kneading behavior in adult cats is a direct behavioral echo of kittenhood. Kittens need their mother's abdomen to stimulate milk production. The motion is instinctive, tied to the earliest, deepest experience of warmth and safety and being fed and being alive in the most complete sense. Adult cats retain this behavior and redirect it. They do not need the floor. They do not need strangers. They do not need objects they are indifferent to. They need the things that have become, in the architecture of their emotional life, maternal. The things that feel like the first safe thing they ever knew. When your cat needs you, he is not doing a cute thing. He is not performing for your attention. He is doing something far older than your relationship with him. He is returning, neurologically and emotionally, to the first moment he ever felt completely safe. And he is returning there because you are where that feeling lives now. You have become, without being asked, without a ceremony, without a word between you, the thing his nervous system calls home. That is not a small thing. That is the whole thing. Dr. Kristen Vitale, whose research on feline attachment has reshaped how animal behaviorists understand the domestic cat, has said that the bond cats form with their owners is more sophisticated and more durable than the scientific community expected to find. The assumption, for most of the last century, was that cats were solitary, that their relationship with humans was transactional, that affection in a cat was really just a well-conditioned association with food and warmth. The data does not support that assumption. What the data shows is an animal that has, over the course of your specific relationship, built a detailed model of who you are. Your moods. Your routines. Your sounds. Your quality of safety. And decided, using a cognitive architecture that predates your species by millions of years, that you are worth staying near. Your cat is not with you because he has nowhere else to go. He has been mapping his options since he was old enough to move. He has built an accurate assessment of every warm surface, every safe corner, every patch of afternoon light in your home. And he keeps coming back to you. Not because you are warm. Because you are the one he trusts. Has your cat ever done something that made you realize he was paying far more attention to you than you knew? Tell me in the comments exactly what it was. I read all of them. The stories from this community are the ones that stay with me longest. You will not look at your cat the same way again. I'll see you in the next one.